Welcome to the Tuttle and Kline Show.
Did you get your haircut?
Yeah, I did.
I can tell.
Aerodynamic now.
That'll help you. That'll help you speed walk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I can frighten people when I come up upon them. And I did it again last week too.
Oh, really? Maybe that's your thing.
Yeah, I'm just like, hey man, I'm just trying to keep you on the ball.
That's right.
All right. Everything sound good? Everything look good?
Oh, everything's great.
Wonderful, Kevin Kline. Yeah, I was a little bit frantic this morning, so I'm sorry I'm a little bit behind.
Nah, no worries, man.
But the Cougs are in the Sweet 16.
That was a nail biter for a little while there.
A&M almost got them.
Dude, man, if you're walking on campus today as that kid who hit that three-pointer to send it to overtime, you're just a legend.
Oh yeah. There are people, Kevin, that make those big buckets that live forever off of it. Like Paris McCurdy at Ball State.
Yeah.
You know, he made some key buckets against UNLV and against Louisville when we made the Sweet 16 run when I was in college.
Uh-huh.
And then Chandler Thompson had the putback dunk over UNLV, and he could walk around anywhere in Muncie, Indiana, and get a free meal. Seriously, you know, and he's our age, and he can walk right in and go, "How's it going?" And they're like, "Oh, Chandler Thompson," you know, the 6'4" guy who had like a 45-inch vertical, and he's the guy that can jump on the top of the backboard and make change. You know, not just take a quarter, but change. He can make change for it. Leave 4 quarters is what I'm trying to say.
Of course, yes. And who could forget that all-time great basketball player, Robbie Benson? What was that movie?
One-on-one.
One-on-one, that was it. Yeah.
You know the better one though, and it gets me every time. I saw it when I was a kid a bunch of times. It was one of those when you first get HBO that it's on like 4 times a day. Ice Castles.
Oh, I remember Ice Castles
with Lynn Holly Johnson.
Yeah.
And, you know, she goes blind and then she, you know, comes back from being blind, but they forgot the flowers.
Yeah, forgot them.
When they forgot the flowers, I mean, everybody, Colleen Dewhurst, Tom Skerritt, you know, everybody, just Niagara Falls.
Yep, I remember Ice Castles for sure.
Yeah, Robbie Benson was actually a good hoop guy, too. He was good.
He was no Jimmy Chitwood.
That guy was the baller, man. You know that they shot the movie Hoosiers when I was in Indiana.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
They
shot it, and did I ever tell you this story?
I don't know. What is it?
You know, the other teams that played the Hoosiers, you know, they were taking you know, people from Indiana that played basketball and, you know, using them on those teams. And I got rejected immediately because I had, you know, I played too street to be believable for the 50s.
Of course. Yeah. Nobody played that type of game.
Yeah. You know, because my influence, you know, Michael Jordan was God.
Of course.
So everything was walk the dog, rock the cradle, double pump. Well, nobody did a fucking double pump back in the 50s. It was the Bob Cousy set shot.
Yeah. Or maybe the granny shot even.
So first day, they're just like, we can't, you don't play 1950s ball. You play modern ball, and it won't look right.
No, probably not.
It won't look right. I mean, there's some small towns in Indiana, if you played like that, they would run you out of town. They'd get a pitchfork.
I'm sure they would. Yes.
And they would for various and sundry reasons.
I was going to say, it's the birthplace.
Birthplace of the KKK. Exactly. Martinsville.
Yeah.
And I had a guy named Larry lived right on my hall, Howick Hall in at Ball State. And he was from Martinsville, and he lived it.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, I finally, I just had to interject. He was friendly with me because I was white.
Uh-huh.
But, you know, I was just like, hey, dude, you can't be that way, man. I know your dad, you know, has 4 teeth in his head and runs the Shine still.
Wow.
From Martinsville up to Anderson. I know he does that. And I know that's a big thing in your family. And, you know, that's a very nice Confederate flag you have there. And I know you're just celebrating heritage. But this is the '80s now, bro.
Yeah. Different way to celebrate now, pal. Different way.
And I'm bringing my girl back, and you're looking for your hood. It's just not. It's not a good vibe.
Not at all.
It's not. It's. You're not helping me get laid as a freshman in college, buddy.
That's right.
So you live like right down the hall, like catty corner.
How funny that you brought this up, because this kind of actually could very well fall into the top 3 idea that I had today.
Let me just say this: Air Innovations are a very valued ground floor sponsor. Such fine people, 5-star reviews everywhere. And one of the things I really love about them, Kev, is if you get a quote from another, HVAC outfit, you've always got to back up with Air Innovations, because sometimes you don't need a whole new system. Sometimes you just need parts and a little bit of love, Are you telling me that Air Innovations is trustworthy? They will tell you what you need, and they're not going to try and upsell you? That doesn't happen today. Troy and Kelly are big on that. They know how times are,
Yeah.
Inflation, and just, unless you're a tech billionaire with 7 yachts, things are rough. And they know that, and their technicians are trained on that. Hey, let's do what we can to not have to fit them into a new system. Let's see if we can tweak it. And they do that all the time. They'll say that. They'll say, hey, I can make a couple moves. It's going to cost you 1/10 of what a system does, or something like that. And then you're going to get 3 or 4 years out of it. They did that with my ex's place in Cyprus.
That's beautiful.
Everybody came out there and they're like, a whole new system, $100 million,
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I don't have $100 million. And they're like, well, sorry, looks like you're going to have a hell of a summer. And then, good people at Air Innovations, one of the technicians come out and he looks up and he goes, shoo, I could probably get you done for $328. You just need a couple parts and it'll last you for about 4 more years.
See, because Air Innovations knows that it's about relationships, and they're local, family owned and operated. They know that once you become part of their family, you're going to stay part of their family. And they know that they're not going to be able to do that if they come out and say, oh, yeah, you need something new. And then you go and find somebody else and they say, no, you didn't need that. That's why Air Innovations is telling the truth.
Yeah, they're one of the organizations, and they're very rare, where they don't care about one sale. They want to take care of you for a lifetime.
Exactly.
And your family and your family's family, and so on and so on. A lot of their stuff is word of mouth. People just like, I can't believe it. One guy came in here and basically said they got to take my firstborn child to get me an AC unit. And Air Innovations came in and said, it's $428 and we can make you last for 4 years.
Do the math.
All right. So we've got them in the link, their website in the link. Just click on that. We got the phone number right here, and it's going to be up there for the next few minutes. Air Innovations, ground floor sponsor of the Tuttle and Kline podcast. And we're so happy to have them aboard. Kev, let's go ahead and do that top 3. And sure, fantastic little graphics while I get my earbud back in.
Just when you thought they couldn't count any higher, it's Tuttle and Kline's top 3.
All right, this is wide open this week, and I'm curious to see where you're going to go. And what kind of wanted me to bring this in was you were already talking about racial aspects in America. You have a magic wand, and you can eliminate 3 things in the world.
Eliminate 3 things in the world. First off, and I know this is going to be right down your pipeline, Kevin Kline. Children with cancer is just ridiculous to me.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
It is the idea that a child, an innocent child, can be afflicted with something that can kill them within weeks, months, or short years, or what. That to me is one of the most heinous things in our society. So please get rid of that, if you would.
That's and a shout out to one of our good friends, Amy Lejeune, who lost her daughter Paige, and she is a big fan of the show. Amy is, and we met Paige during a radiothon when we broadcasted from Baybrook, and Paige ended up becoming a major inspiration for a running friend of mine, Gene, and we've just always had that relationship. And it's sad that we started the relationship under tragic circumstances, but it's nice that we can still talk about Paige and we can still be friends with the Lejeune family.
We were at the mall broadcasting that year, remember?
We were. I do remember.
For Radiothon, and they came out, they had that fudge. Remember that fudge?
Yeah, man.
Holy cow.
It was good stuff. You said they should sell it.
I can't believe that's really good. So yeah, good people. And yeah, I just got to eradicate that, man. I mean, that should be top priority. You know, you hear all these rumors that they got a cure and everything like that. They're making so much money off the chemo and all that stuff. They'll never give it to us, and only the elite get it, you know, and all that stuff. If that's the case, can they at least give the kids the juice? You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, brother. Yep.
Because that is that's a painful thing. So it was top 3 things you would
eliminate. Yes.
I would eliminate also if I could.
You can. You've got the magic wand. I
got a magic wand.
Yep.
And I obviously have a time limit because we want people to continue to listen. So I want to be quick with this. I'm going to go with, and this is a hard one too, because it's like the genie with the 3 wishes. You don't want to fuck it up.
That's true.
And then have, genie wish remorse 20 minutes later.
Oh, you'll have it later.
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
totally. And by the way, because we're thinking, have to think in a hot box right here, we're going to miss something. So go ahead and leave comments on what you would have eradicated from the planet. Kev, I would say taxation of any kind.
My God, you've just taken 2 of mine.
Yeah.
You took 2 of mine. Isn't that crazy?
The idea that a centralized control freak organization can just basically cut your earnings in half is total bullshit. It should be illegal, and it is shameful that it's part of our society. And I know a lot of you think, well, how will you get the roads, and how will you, pay for military and all that stuff? You can have a usury tax on things. If people are purchasing things, you can have, anything past 10% on any purchase, you can't do. And you cannot touch anybody's income ever. You cannot touch their inheritance ever. You can't touch any of that shit. I mean, when you start digging into that, you are an out of control Leviathan organization that needs to be put in its place. Period.
He said it better than I would have said it. But yeah, I taxation. Jesus, do you believe this country was started because we didn't want to be taxed on tea?
Yeah.
Now they're
all the crap we take now.
Now they're hitting me because I sold property and made a profit on that property.
Isn't that terrible?
Now I fucking owe this year out of the wazoo because I made a good investment.
Isn't that terrible?
Oh my God, dude. It's unbelievable.
It's like they want us to revolt.
But they know we won't.
To a point. I think there's a flashpoint.
Okay.
But I think in their minds that they think they got it. They're like, oh, all the drones and robot killer dogs that we have, plus enough of the military and police force, we could probably take you. I don't know, 92 million armed Americans who love the Constitution, a large chunk of the military and police who are sworn to uphold the Constitution against enemies, both foreign and domestic.
He's read it.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know that. I don't know how to handicap that one. And once their arrogance pushes it to that point, I hope they don't. Because it's going to be a nasty 3 or 4 weeks.
3 or 4 weeks.
Oh yeah, it'll happen quick.
And your third one.
By the way, just to make, I'm not calling for that.
No,
I am a futurist. Kev, you've heard me for many years tell you what's going to happen before it happens, and it happens.
Yes, he is the Nostradamus of the modern era.
I can read tea leaves. I can read chatter. I know history, and when history is repeating itself, and holy shit, it's repeating itself, and not in a good way.
Nope, not at all.
That's all I got to say. All right, final thing to eradicate before I get swatted in my apartment. I would have to say I don't like envy.
Okay.
Can you do that? I mean, that's not
absolutely.
That's not really a tangible thing. That's kind of intangible.
But it's a thing.
Yeah. I never understood jealousy.
Yeah.
We should celebrate other people's fortune and their success, not be jealous of it. So if I could just wave the wand and just be, hey, man, nobody's going to be envious anymore.
There you go.
All right. So what are yours?
Take that, Gene. Mine. Well, you took two of mine, so that's going to leave me with two extras. I'm going to get rid of ticks. Ticks.
Love it.
Ticks. What is their purpose?
Yeah, there's a few like that, man.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people get angry at sharks because they may have bit their uncle's leg or their leg or something like that. But a shark's just being a shark, and he's part of the ecosystem and everything like that. But there are some worthless things like, what do mosquitoes do?
Well, basically they just spread
disease. Yeah.
Yeah. I read a news article not too long ago because I was wondering what is the purpose of a tick, and it really didn't have a purpose except to control animal population. We are animals, okay? But the article, the headline of the article was "Thank the tick for sex." Basically, because ticks kill, they force us to have sex or other animals to have sex to proliferate their species. Yeah. I'm like, that's such bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm not thanking a tick for anything.
I like the idea of, anything that's not of use just going bye-bye. I mean, that's more of an umbrella than your specific tick thing, but, why not get rid of mosquitoes, vice presidents, third string quarterbacks? We don't need them.
Kline. there was a time in the 28 years that we've been together that he would have said that. Now he won't. Now he won't.
Kev, I would have only said it out of jest. Of
course.
You've never been in an appendix. No matter how many times I've told you jokingly that you are an appendix.
And the other one, since we both agree on cancer and we both agree on taxes, I'm going to go and take another one. I know we say left lane drivers, but I'm going to go with the people who pass on the right. Okay? Because
it's dangerous. It's dangerous.
Exactly. That if you talk to anybody in Germany, Andreas Van Breven, remember him, Tim? Yeah. He was our intern in Nashville. He listens to the show. What's up, Andreas? He told me a long time ago that the only reason that there aren't crashes on the Autobahn is because nobody passes on the right. That's why there's crashes in America. People pass on the right. Look, if you're going fast in the right-hand lane and there's somebody going slow in the left-hand lane, get behind them. They'll move. If they don't move, then they're the dick.
Yeah, don't you be the dick who killed people.
Right, by passing on the right. Don't do it.
I love it, Kev. You're so caring. You're so caring. There's a lot of scary stuff. I mean, I just, going to and fro the comedy club last night had a bunch of right lane freaks. And I'm just like, I'm going to get killed trying to go make people laugh. This is not bad.
Now that you brought up the comedy club, dude, I wish I still had the conversation that you and I had on text message on Friday evening. I mean, everything.
Thursday.
The enthusiasm that you had in that text message was like, if you could bottle that and sell it, dude, you'd be richer than Musk.
I felt bad because I felt like I was bombarding you.
No, dude, I was so excited that you were having that experience. I really was, man. I showed it to Trish. I'm like, can you feel the enthusiasm in his body right now? Just on the words that you were sharing. It was, dude, I was so happy for you, man. So proud.
Yeah, I did my tight five on Thursday night. And yeah, this is what I got it right here, dude.
Good.
I got my text.
Yeah.
I text Kevin as soon as it's over. You're glowing in the dark. Your hand is shaking a little bit.
Oh, it's shaking a lot.
It's shaking because you just killed. They were just laughing. And then you got people walking by you quoting stuff from your act.
Yeah, I know.
I said, Kev, this is so awesome. The audience loved it. The host said, damn, I'm glowing in the dark right now. Oh my God, I feel like I'm high. I fucking owned the audience.
There you go. Yeah.
And Kev goes, awesome. It's a rush. No question about it. Way to go, buddy. And then I'm not done there.
No, nor should he be.
I said, my hands are shaking. Adrenaline's coursing through my veins right now. And Kline goes, I can tell. Just after a few, you could tell, huh?
Yeah.
I said, everyone's looking at me and whispering and shit. I crushed the other 15 in front of me. I said, there was a lady going on after me and she had deer in headlights look. She bombed.
Man.
And then Kev goes, set up a table and sign autographs. I said, oh, I didn't get, this is where I was bummed out because I looked at my phone because I thought I pressed voice memo.
Uh-huh.
But when you get up there, Kev, you're nervous.
I know.
And you put the phone on the stool and you think you pressed voice memo, but I didn't engage it. It didn't record it. So I said, damn, I didn't record it. I was a little nervous when I put the phone on the stool. I didn't press record button correctly or something. I said, I'm going to ask around to see if anybody has a recording. Audience was bellowing in laughter. It was guttural. You have to hear this, Kline. I'm like going to the host and a couple of the regular guys and, and everything like that. Hey, are you guys recording anything? They don't like recording anything but their own because it is considered rude that people think you're trying to steal from them.
That is completely understandable.
Yeah. So nobody records anything but their own sets.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, then I started getting, dude, you helped me with this. I'm so appreciative. Blah, blah, blah. They asked me to come back, blah, blah, blah. But Timmy's got a baseball game. I'm going to go up Sunday, different place, new audience. I think I'm going to end up pretty good at this. And I'm glowing, man. It's great.
I can tell.
I said, sorry if I'm rambling. I'm so jacked right now. People are walking past me saying trolling for unis.
Which is the last line of your set.
Yeah. And it brought down the house.
And my suggestion was
you said, hey, thanks. That's my act. I'm Tim Tuttle, and I'm selling Trolling for Unis t-shirts out front.
That's right.
$20.
You're missing an opportunity if you don't, man.
I don't want to be that guy.
Why?
Yet.
Okay.
I'm still just trying to break in, Kev. Now that was a great night. I mean, Thursday, like, okay, I can do this. It taught me that, hey, I can do this. Yeah, for 26 years, I was morning radio guy, but I was bouncing off of people. Now I can go with a microphone and a spotlight on me, and I can entertain people just with my words.
Mm-hmm.
And that was reassuring. That was cool.
It should be more than reassuring. It should be empowering.
Then I went last night. By the way, I haven't gotten any sleep at all. I have not slept.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had so much coffee. I had so much espresso just to make sure that I was there, and I didn't sleep a wink. But I got there and I was sixth up.
You said there were 30 comics?
Yeah, there were 30 comics.
Okay.
And I was sixth up. So I'm like, okay, cool. Kevin Kline, the 5 people in front of me were so bad.
Oh, really?
That the audience, there was a decent audience. I mean, there was, 15, 20 people.
Uh-huh.
And that's enough where I can get feedback on my jokes to see if they like them. But it whittled down. By the time I got up there, 3 people, all dudes. 2 of the dudes were doing stand-up.
Oh, really?
That's bad.
That is.
I'm just like, this is a completely blown trip now.
No. You still got up there and you still delivered. So it's practice.
Kev, I have over the past 4 or 5 days practiced hundreds of times.
Good.
After I signed up and found out I'm sixth, I walked around downtown doing my act.
Really?
Doing my act. Yeah, doing my act. So I know it like the back of my hand.
Yeah, but
I know it.
But delivering it, walking around downtown and delivering it on stage, totally different. So
see that, and that's what that's why I want to video it, because I want to see, am I doing anything that distracts? I'm trying to act out some of the stuff, and some of it, the acting out is getting some chuckles too.
Well, sure,
but I don't want to be distracting from the words.
If people are remembering trolling for unis and laughing and telling you lines, they're listening. It's not getting in the way. So, yeah. But what you need to do is you need to have you need to take somebody with you, whether it's Audrey, Jonas, or New Girl.
Yeah,
maybe it's time.
Kev, I'm even thinking bigger than that.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm thinking of buying my own club.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Actually, what I'm really thinking about is because this place right here, the lease runs out in the fall.
Okay. Yeah.
I may move to Austin.
Really?
Joe Rogan's got the mothership there.
Yeah.
Bunches of LA and New York comedians have moved to Austin. The mothership has become it's become the Comedy Store of middle United States.
Nice.
So I may do that. I don't know. And because Audrey and Jonas are right there in San Marcos, and Audrey, she would stay in that Austin area more likely than not. Same with Jonas because it's a big tech area.
Sure, absolutely.
And then just get Timmy and Dow. It's just an hour and a half because they're way out in the country on the west. In Houston,
right?
So I'm thinking possibly that I move to Houston in the fall. October or something.
Move to Austin.
What did I say?
Houston.
Yeah, no, I'm already there.
That's where you're there. Yeah.
Yeah. I may do that. I don't know. Or who knows?
Austin's a great town, man. It's an awesome city.
3 weeks from now, I may be like, I don't even like this stand-up comedy thing. Because there's one thing about it, Kev, is my body is not used to midnight 30, 1 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
And I gotta be funny.
Yeah, it is a different lifestyle.
I mean, I would have to kind of like flip the script all the way around and go a vampire schedule to really get into it. But who knows? I'm open to that too.
Yeah. You can nap during the day.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, dude, if you're enjoying it, you're having fun, and it's exhilarating and exciting, then why question it?
Well, it's a roller coaster right now. I mean, I had an up.
Yeah. And
yesterday was, but that motivates me more to see if I can, get like a bigger gig with a built-in audience, like a regular bigger gig somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
A hosting gig would be perfect right now. A hosting gig, you're the first one on, you do 5, then you bring up the co-feature or the feature, and then you come back out and do a couple, and then you bring on the headliner.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
That's perfect. That would be a perfect way. And I can, try new stuff all the time.
Yep.
Right there being a host. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to look into that.
You should.
Kev, we talked about, the times we go into the rabbit hole.
Yes.
And really dig deep on things. And afterwards we're like, gosh, why did I just blow an hour and a half, 2 hours on that?
Oh yeah. No, I know.
And I think this may be a regular weekly thing for us is, what rabbit hole did each of us get caught in?
Okay.
In the past week? Did you get caught in any rabbit holes?
Yeah, I actually did get caught in a rabbit hole, but it was
some of yours you may not be comfortable talking about. Because Kevin has a very dark mind.
No, this one's fine. And it's strange. But I got a connect request on LinkedIn from another Playboy Playmate of the Year.
Another one?
Yeah. And she said she'll come on the Fuzzy Mic and talk about self-esteem and self-empowerment and all that kind of stuff. And
Hold on. What? It's not Karen McDougal. It's another one?
Yeah, it's another one.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man?
I honestly, I figured out what it is.
What is it? They think you're Kevin Kline, the actor.
No, Karen McDougal might, but Brandy Roderick does not.
Brandy Roderick?
Yeah.
I remember her.
Baywatch. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So they linked with you on LinkedIn, and she's going to come on your pod.
Yeah. She says she is. She said, sure, I would love to. That'd be great. So here's what it is. So this one service that I apply for to get guests for the podcast, they had a woman named Deborah Driggs, and she was a Playboy Playmate, and she has her own website where she talks about her self-esteem issues and all this kind of stuff. Well, I reached out to her, and she messaged me back, and she goes, oh yeah, we can do this sometime in April. That's totally cool. I said, awesome. Looking forward to it. If you know anybody else that might want to talk about self-esteem issues, self-empowerment, please pass along my information. That's how it's happening.
Okay, I got you.
That's how it's happening.
Okay, so you're that guy.
Apparently.
Go with it, man.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But anyway, to talk about the rabbit hole, yeah, I've pretty much watched every podcast that Brandy Roderick's been on in the past 3 years. My God, there are some shit podcasts out there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, dude.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that shouldn't be speaking in public.
Yeah, God bless her for being on all those podcasts. I mean, sure, there's probably going to be somebody that watches mine and says, "Oh my God, that's a shit podcast." But
No, you're a professional, dude. You're a 30-year professional. You know how to present information and have some compelling stuff.
he was on this one podcast that they were doing a bourbon review. She was pounding bourbon like it was going out of style because she was so bored.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so funny. That's why I'm a little nervous. Everybody, because they can buy a microphone at Best Buy, thinks, well, I'm going to have a podcast.
Yeah.
And I was a little nervous about Audrey having a podcast. Just a little bit.
Awesome. She's awesome.
She's so good.
Yeah, she's killing it.
Throw that on the screen real quick. Hype girl here.
Your hype girl.
Your hype girl. My daughter, Audrey, she's like on episode 3 coming up. And then episode 4, they just cut it. Her and Jonas.
No way.
I can't wait to hear that.
Yeah, me too. Oh, by the way, she could be a politician in the future. Audrey, your daughter. The way that she let me down in an email was brilliant, dude. It was absolutely brilliant.
Hold on. What do you mean? What did you ask for? And then give me this story. I don't know this story.
Well, I always give her feedback on the episode. Told her it was I do. She's so good, Tim.
She's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, is that genetic, or is that like listening to her dad for her entire life, or is that just like, hey man, I know how to organize thoughts in my head and spit them out onto a microphone?
It's a combination. It's a combination of both. Yeah. I mean, she's how old? 23, 22? 22. Go listen to Your Hype Girl, Audrey Tuttle. And it's not the voice of a 22-year-old. She is so mature, and the information is great. Okay. She's telling you how to be happy, and when things aren't happy, how to turn that around. I love it.
I got to admit, I've jotted a note or two listening to her.
Absolutely. I have too.
And I was like, I'm going to try that.
Yeah. So
it works.
Anyway, I congratulated her on her half marathon. And I said, if at any time you decide you want to do a full marathon or skip the natural progression and just go to an ultra, I'd be more than happy to run that with you. I'd be honored, in fact. She messaged me back and she goes, oh, thanks for that. She goes, I've got a great group of friends that run with me.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Uncle Kev, and and you were one of the first person. You were the first person outside of my mom and dad to ever hold me when I was a baby. But I don't want to be next to you for hours and hours and hours. You're good from a distance.
Exactly.
You're really good from a distance.
But she did ask for suggestions on races to do, so I sent her an email with 8 different runs in the States, and then 4 different international ones that she might want to think about. Cool. But yeah, dude, it was so. I told Trish, I'm like, man, she's so diplomatic too.
Oh yeah, she knows she knows the game. She doesn't want to burn you. Yeah, but Audrey is a sweet human being. But she knows how to tell you "fuck you" without telling you "fuck you."
That's right.
Bottom line, the rabbit hole I got in, Kev, and I hope you can put just at least a little snippet or whatever copyright will allow. I was watching videos of bulls jumping into the stands.
What, it like bullfights or something?
Yeah. Wow. It happens all the time. There is no shortage. And, next thing you know, you've watched 40 of these videos and you're like, why do these people even go to these things?
Yeah. I don't blame the bull. If somebody's trying to stick a sword in you, I'm not going to run around the ring.
These bulls, okay, they're put in a cramped, dark space for a long time to get them worked up, to piss them off.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah. And then they come out and they're freaked out by the crowd.
Sure.
So they're adjusting to the light and the crowd noise and everything like that. They're angry, man. And some of them, you see the muscles on some of those bulls.
Yeah.
You see their muscles. They can launch themselves, man.
Uh-huh.
And any fence that's too short. And I got a funny feeling that a lot of these promoters know it's too short and it just adds to it. And they get in there. They get in the stands, man.
Do they really?
They get in the stands and they wreak havoc. I mean, they're trying to, I mean, a lot of them get like their hoof caught in some seats or something like that, or, they'll slip down or something. But some of them, they get a little action going on there. And, next thing you know, your 10-year-old, yeah, exactly. Ouch. But I in watching so many of these videos, Kev, I finally realized the pattern in terms of why these bulls are going into the stands.
What is it?
Maybe the red t-shirt giveaway. Not well thought of. Because when you think bull fights,
red cape.
Everything's red.
Yeah.
Don't put 70,000 of them around the bull in the stands. Just an idea.
I completely agree. That's probably the reason why you never saw a bull at a Chicago Bulls game, because they were red.
Funny stuff, man.
Right?
Funny stuff. Hey, Kev, another one of our sponsors, Home Video Rescue.
Yes.
This is so important. I actually have some high school, college, and, friends I grew up with that are listening. And they reached out to me and they said, I'm going to get, I'm still up in Indiana, Tim, where we grew up. Can I send the stuff to him? Yes, you can.
Absolutely.
Home Video Rescue. Here's what they do. They take the stuff that's wilting and decaying in your closets, in your storage, in your garage, the Super 8, the VHS, the Beta, and they make it digital so it'll last forever. And I got a buddy of mine, man, this guy was a great basketball player, Kev.
Really?
I mean, we called him White Chocolate.
Did you? Wow. Okay.
And I'm talking, he thunder dunks, man. I'm talking this guy, had a reverse jam and just boom. And his head's almost up to the rim and he's doing reverse jams. He was bad, man.
Sounds like it.
And he reached out to me and he said, man, he goes, I checked in my garage after I was listening to the podcast, and there's one of his boxes of all his highlights, water damage, gone.
No. Toast.
He said, my sophomore and half of my junior year is gone. And I said, you got to get these things to Home Video Rescue. They will put it on, make it digital. That's what they do. That's what Chris does. Okay. And I know a lot of you, whether it's a basketball or whether it's, your wedding or your kids growing up, your dang kids being born, that's all on like tape that is wilting and decaying. You got to do something about it.
Well, and think about this. I was thinking about this the other day, as a matter of fact. My brother has 3 daughters, and two of them are in college. One of them is going to be a doctor next year, and then the other one will be graduating next year. And they've never seen their dad play baseball. They never did. And the grandkids, when they eventually have them, never saw grandpa play baseball. So I told him the other day, I'm like, get those VHS tapes, get them digitized. I know the guy can do it. Home Video Rescue.
Home Video Rescue. We've got it right here. The link right here, and they'll take care of you. Again, once it's gone, it's gone.
Yep.
And then your kids are going, sure, you dunked the ball, Dad. Bullshit.
Exactly.
There you go. So thank you to Chris. Chris is phenomenal. I love it. Kev.
Yeah.
Your wife sent this story and it immediately triggered stuff.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Real estate agent. There's a big story of some real estate agent almost burned down a $2 million house.
Yeah. They were getting ready to show the house. And something, I don't know what it was, but yeah, they almost burned down a $2 million.
Yeah. And a similar thing happened when we were moving from Alabama to Houston.
Yep.
The home inspector came in and we had, Audrey and Jonas's mom had like a plastic container that had the cake in it. It was on the stove. Well, he just goes over there to test all the stove things and doesn't remove the plastic cake holder, and it starts to burn.
Yes.
And Kev, I forgot something, and I walked in and saw black smoke billowing in my house that I'm trying to sell, and the home inspector's in there. And I'm like, dude, what's up? What's going on? He was a big listener to Tuttle and Kline. He loved our show.
Yeah.
So his eyes are this wide. He's freaking out. He's going, oh my God, Tim, I'm so sorry, man. I am so sorry. And I'll get it cleaned up and fixed up. I got stuff out in my truck. We'll get rid of the smell and all that. I said, that's fine. And I know that all of your inspections are going to come out real nice now, aren't they? He goes, I'll take care of you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Basically, there were a couple things that he didn't report because he stayed longer to fix them because of that.
Yeah. You had to have like major renovation done to the kitchen before you could sell it.
He had to do some like stuff to, the vent, the fan vent.
Yeah.
He had to like go get another one and put the whole vent, overhead roof vent thing on there because it was black and he couldn't get it off. It just turned black.
Damn.
Yeah.
Bad day of work right there, man.
It's a want to get away moment.
Totally.
Kev, do you have any want to get away moments?
Oh my God.
I got a couple that are really that made me think about it. It's like, oh dang, dude.
Let me hear yours.
Okay. When I was with Audrey and Jonas's mom.
Okay, yeah.
And it was early on in the relationship. We were meeting her friends and everything like that. And you know me, BS or Timmy, meeting new people. Hey, how you doing? And some girls, some lady is acting all crazy, one of her friends, and I'm like, oh, you're so crazy. You belong in prison. You're so crazy. Turns out she was facing embezzling charges at that moment.
No way.
It was a news story and everything. I had no idea.
Yeah.
But I just remember the record scratch noise and just the room goes silent.
That's hilarious. But you didn't know.
Exactly. I got let off the hook because I didn't know. And she was embarrassed trying to play it off, and her husband wasn't happy, but he's like half my size. So what is he going to do?
Exactly.
I didn't know, man. I'm sorry. I'm just a shucker and jiver. I'm a BSer. Hey, you're crazy. You belong in prison. Oops.
How long did she serve?
I don't know the aftermath. I didn't. No. We didn't stay in touch with her. That was not a long-lasting friendship. There were no more barbecues, Kev.
Yeah, guess not.
And Kev, this one just happened not too long ago. Oh my God, I still to this day I go, oh my God. I was golfing with somebody I didn't know. Okay, he was a guy that just came out, and on like the second or third hole, it's a 10-foot putt. Okay.
Uh-huh.
He does this weak putt. It's like 4 feet short.
Wow.
Well, and you've heard this before. It's a common thing that's said in golf. It's like, hey, does your wife play?
Yeah, right.
Common, right?
Yeah.
He says, instead of just letting me off the hook and go, yeah, I probably should have put some more mustard on that one. He said, she died 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
and I'm like, oh, sorry, man. And then he goes, it gets worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Then he goes, oh, it's all good. It was a horrible marriage. I mean, she never let me play golf. I would never be out here if she was still around. And I'm like, okay. And then just trying to get a segue out of there. I go, well, you didn't kill her, did you?
No.
He said, are you a cop? Are you wearing a wire? And I had no idea. I mean, we played another 15 holes. I had no idea whether he was serious or not. I just stopped talking to him.
God, yeah, I would.
I
would
just
have shanked one in the woods and waited for the next foursome to come through.
Yeah, you know what I think it may have been, and really looking back on it. I mean, you've played golf with me many times.
I have.
I'm a little chatty. I like to talk.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just one of those golfers that wanted the folks, like a Ben Hogan type. Just doesn't want to chat or whatever. And that whole thing was made up just to shut me up.
Yeah, but why would he say, oh, she died 2 weeks ago? He opened the door for conversation right there. No, that's his fault. he opened the door for conversation. You say something like, oh, can your wife play? Nah, yeah, that's funny. If it,
I do that all the time. I do that all the time, though.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Like my ex was like, hey, can you reach out to the venue, see if I can get a meet and greet with this artist? And just goofing around, I text back to her and go, yeah, you can. But here's the thing. I told them you were developmentally challenged. So you have to act that way until you're 3 feet within the artist. And she's like, what? I do? So I do that kind of stuff all the time where I'm just BSing around. She's dead. She died 2 weeks ago. I mean, that's not beyond the realm of just goofing around, right?
Right. No, not at all. But like I said, he said it, so he opened up the venue of conversation there. Okay. He could have just let your line slide. I mean, it is a common thing said on the golf course.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's just, and he's heard that before.
Of course.
It's said just as often when, somebody is addressing a ball on the tee box and it rolls off of the tee and they say that's one.
Yep.
It's lame, stupid stuff, but everybody says that. I mean, you hit a weak putt, they go, hey, does your wife play? Now I know there may be some hardcore feminists out there going, oh, it's nothing personal.
Nothing at all. Nothing. Yeah. Nothing. No.
Not every guy is a beta male. There's still some alphas out there, and we like to goof around. We don't mean anything by it.
Actually, didn't Justin Thomas on the PGA Tour get in trouble for saying something like that to Tiger Woods, and the microphones caught him?
Oh, no. He used the F word.
Oh, did he?
FA word. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
He said you hit that ball like a.
Ah, okay.
That's what got him in trouble.
That got him in trouble.
You don't want to do that one.
Nah, not at all.
That's just south of the N word.
Yeah,
but close enough to it that you don't want to jack with it.
Gotcha.
Okay, yeah, that's the reason why. Yeah, it wasn't a shot, a misogynistic shot. It was one of those no. We will take everything.
Yep.
We will take. So he got busted on that one.
That was the one. Okay, I knew he got busted for something.
Kev, you don't live in Texas anymore.
No, miss it.
But a few days ago, Texans who like to look up adult material on the internet, they got hit with a sign from all the major players. All the Goliaths of smut.
Okay,
saying that Texas residents, your IPs registered in Texas. You cannot watch this channel because of a Texas law where they put the onus on them that they have to prove it's not a minor or anything like that. So all of them, like Pornhub, YouPorn, they pulled the plug completely. You cannot get those.
In Texas, you can't get them anymore.
Not anymore because they have blocked all Lone Star State IPs. Now, Kev, that's what I heard.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I just heard chatter. You're at a gas station filling your car up, and you hear some obvious porn guys over there.
Totally.
And they're like, "Oh man, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?" So I jump in while they're all upset, over at the gas station.
Yeah,
they're all upset. They're going, "Oh my god, what am I gonna? I can't live without it." They're junkies.
Of course they are.
They're addicts. That's a thing. Look it up.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I think you're going to have to look for some genuine connections with ladies again, guys.
Or get over to Louisiana as quick as you can.
Exactly. Or, what are they? Don't they have those VPNs or something like that?
Like be incognito.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then if somebody goes, hey, we think your IP's in Texas, and you're like, no, I'm not. I'm in Oklahoma. What are you talking about?
Although Google is supposed to be settling a class action lawsuit that even when you went incognito on Google, they could still track you.
Yeah, there is no, Kev.
There's no such thing.
They love getting the data. They love being able to track you. I mean, we talked about this before. They are sociopath control freaks, and they love having this over all of us. They do.
Yep.
And they will, and it's going to be a thing until they don't, and they'll be sorry that they did it.
But we let it.
Oh yeah, I'm not giving up the internet.
No,
are you kidding me? I actually put my phone down It was probably mid-January, early January.
Okay.
I was like, hey, once a week, I'm not even going to touch my phone. Just one day a week. I'll have the ringer on so I can hear it if it's an emergency. If something's up with the kids. But that's the only thing I'll answer. That lasted about 2.5 hours.
That's it.
I am so embarrassed about that too.
Oh, wow.
That I'm that addicted to information and having it at my fingertips. Yeah. And they know that too. They know they got you. They got you.
I went a half a year without a phone.
I know, man. That's pretty amazing. That you had, you know what, Kev? That had to be one of the best 6 months of your life.
It was incredible. Yeah. I knew that I didn't have to get on a phone. I didn't have to worry about people calling me, emailing me, texting me. It was phenomenal. And the other reason I ended up getting a phone was because Trish, my wife, told me, with your business, doing the voiceover work, people need a way to contact you. And she goes, I'm not going to be your secretary.
Yeah. So you finally had to relent, didn't you?
Yeah. But, like Christopher Nolan, the guy that did the Batman stuff, and he did Oppenheimer, he does not have a computer. He doesn't have a phone. It's amazing.
And he's a brilliant artist. He doesn't need it for ideas.
Exactly.
His brain is not clogged up, so he can come up with ideas like Inception.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, the greatest movie in history. And anytime you get a chance to talk about it, you better talk about it.
I've never seen Inception.
Don't tell Johnny Chang that.
Oh, okay. That was his show. That's right. He loved that.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
Yeah. He flipped out. He thought everybody on planet Earth was talking about Inception. He got mad. Johnny rarely got mad at us.
Rarely.
He was our boss at 93Q. First off, let me preface this by saying, if every single person, American worker, had a boss like Johnny Chang, there would be nobody driving to work hating their jobs.
Very true.
Greatest boss ever. But he had his moments. One of them was when late comedian Ralphie May said Puerto Rican pubic hair, and Kline didn't quite have enough time to edit it out. Johnny Chang heard it. And this is when we were first starting out. This is 2005.
Yeah, we had not been on the air long.
We didn't have much juice. We didn't have much leverage. He came flying out of his office, running to the studio, just flipping. Remember that? Just flipping out.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And he's getting in my face, and I'm like, oh, my God, what do I do here? I just moved here. I just got a mortgage. I got two very small children. I mean, if he hits me, I have to jack him back. My dad's watching, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a tenet of Fred Tuttle's is if somebody hits, you don't go looking for trouble.
Nope.
But if somebody takes a swing at you and it gets physical, you have to knock them the fuck out. That's a Fred Tuttle rule. They got to go down. So I'm just sitting there. I'm all of that's running through my head. Right. Because he looked like he was going to throw.
Oh, he was not happy.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to punch me. And I'm like, oh my God, do I fight back? What do I do here? What do they implicate? I finally decided I'm just going to take the punch. And I'm going to sue the company.
That was the plan.
That was the plan. I'm going to sue the company for $4.27 million. I had it already in my head. It only took me about a millisecond to just make that decision. Okay, I'm going to let them jack me, and I'm going $4.27 million. So, but you remember that, right?
Oh, I totally remember that. And then I remember that we had to have a meeting with our general manager afterwards to apologize to her. Yeah, because Caroline's old school. Very.
I mean, I said that sucks one time on the radio, and she's like, ooh, you don't want to say that sucks.
No.
I'm like, really? You should have seen what we were doing 6 months ago in Birmingham, Alabama.
Exactly. Yeah, you could tell she did not have much of a say in our hire.
No. But yeah, but the other thing he flipped out because he watched it over the opening weekend, Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio.
I know, yeah.
And also the guy from Oppenheimer, the British guy, Peaky Blinders.
Killing Murphy.
In that too.
Yeah.
He was in that too. And after the show, he was so mad. He's like, everybody in the world is talking about this. Everybody in the world. I mean, they buried people on Friday. They've come back to life so they can talk about Inception. I mean, and I'm like, oh, So and he kept going with it. We were like, hey, so, didn't realize, and then I looked at the box office and it was like 44 million, So
Yeah.
I did the math right there. I'm like, maybe 3 million people watched it. The other the other 313 million didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I
know exactly. I totally remember that.
But that was it. I mean, that was it. Outside of those 2 months, I can't think of anything where he flipped out.
No. Oh, he flipped out on me once.
What did he flip out on you on?
It was a Sunday night. Oh my God, dude. I will never forget it. He calls me at 9:45 at night. He's like, it was during rodeo and the Jonas Brothers were playing. And he wanted to know why we didn't have the Jonas Brothers ticket giveaway on Monday in our Sunday night, in our Sunday promo. And I'm like, I don't know. I complete missight on I want you to go up to the station right now. Right now.
You drove up to the station to put the Jonas Brothers?
Oh, no. He's like, I want you to drive up to the station right now. I want you to recut that. I'm like, well, there's a couple things wrong with this, Johnny. I said, number one, it's only going to play twice more before we go on the air. He goes, I don't care. Get up there right now. I'm like, well, the even bigger issue, I don't know how to produce it. That Bondra would need to go up there and produce it.
We had a producer that did that stuff.
Then he flipped out even more. You don't know how to do your own production? I'm like, I've never been trained. On that particular system, I've never been trained.
We're a big market morning show that has a producer.
He got pissed. He hung up on me.
Wow.
I had to call him back. And then I had to call our co-host, Jenny. And I'm like, how do I deal with this? I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. She's like, you got to call him back. You just got to explain to him. And man, dude, it was.
Did you chill out?
45 minutes of getting yelled at and three different phone calls.
Why didn't he call me? I'm the quarterback of the show. Why didn't he call me?
I don't think he liked dealing with you as much as he didn't mind dealing with me.
Oh, yeah. Path of least resistance.
I'm a 3-letter word guy. Yes. You're a 2-letter word guy. No
fucking way. Let me look at my contract. Going into the studio at 9:45 and cutting I don't see it in there anywhere. So that's a big fuck no.
Yeah. And now I'm laughing about it, but at the time I was like, and we're talking about the Jonas Brothers. They're not even format.
Not format. And, again, but he would just get locked on these things. And we couldn't read his mind all the time.
No.
And there were some times where it's like, we thought, well, okay, what would Johnny fucking bust a vein in the forehead for? And we'd actually think about it. We'd actually, we didn't want that to happen. But in all fairness, hey, seriously, these were rare. I mean, we had 17 years with a dude. You had 16 years with a dude. Great boss. Love him to pieces.
I still get together with him whenever I come to town for coffee and stuff.
Love Johnny Chang.
I've often emailed him and told him, because I take personality tests and all that kind of shit all the time. And I'm like, dude, whatever hell I put you through, I am so sorry. I said, but I appreciated the way you managed me, because you didn't manage me cookie cutter. You managed me like you managed me,
Yeah. No, that was another thing that he was great at. And I can't speak more kindly of him. And I do that too. And me, Kev, I don't connect with anybody because, I'm weird.
Well, and you're level 1.
Level 1 autistic guy that just very shudders at connections. And I've reached out to him and said, dude, I love you. Yeah. You were the greatest. Okay. So let's make that clear right there. All right.
Well, dude, he more than buried the hatchet. He asked me to marry him to his current wife.
And you turned it into a roast. That was awesome.
They wanted that.
Yeah, that was great.
They wanted that.
There were some things where I was like, oh man, I hope they're not recording that. Because you were doing the broken Chinese accent and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which would you even do that today? Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Give us a little piece of it. Just do you remember? Because you always remember your best work. I mean, we know that from God Save the Queen, that you got everything that you nailed memorized. Like some of the stuff you were doing when you were doing the nuptials for our boss Johnny Chang and Cher.
Yeah. So Sherilyn, his wife, asked me to officiate. Johnny asked me to officiate. And I said, what kind of ceremony do you want? And Sherilyn says, we're coming to you for your comedy. I'm like, guns a-blazing? She's like, guns a-blazing. I said, okay, you got it. So Johnny's relatives from Korea were sitting in the front row, and 3 of them did not speak any English. Okay. So I said, basically, welcome to the nuptials of Johnny and Sherilyn. They're very grateful for you to be here. I said, if you'll just excuse me for a moment, we do have some foreign visitors in the crowd, and I want to make sure that they understand what's going on. They were sitting in the front row, and so I turned to them in the front row, and I go, oh, hello. I am Kevin Kline. I am employee of Johnny Chang. Welcome to the nuptials of Sherilyn and Johnny. Ni hao. And then I come back, and okay. And so his nephews were there, and they live in Los Angeles. And so they know, they were cracking up. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're cracking up. And so then I turned back and I said, now Johnny and Sherilyn have said that they don't want this to be an overly religious ceremony, but they said I could inject a prayer or two. So if everybody would just bow their heads, we'd like to start this with a prayer. Dear President Trump, Hispanics are taking our jobs, and now Asians are taking our women. Please hurry up with the wall.
Which you could say that back in 2017 or whatever it was.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
2016, 2017. You can't say that now.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Not anymore. The control freaks. I want to control what you say and what you think. They won.
But our vice president of operations for the entire company, Kim Guthrie, was there, and she asked Johnny afterwards, do I need to have corporate HR talk to Kevin? And he's like, no, we asked him to do that.
Was she being real though?
Yeah, she was. Yeah. And the band Perry was there. The band Perry, they were mortified. Absolutely.
They were?
Yes. Johnny told me, he goes, Kevin, you scared the band Perry. They were mortified.
Oh, I'm so sad. See, people can't laugh. Why not laugh?
And then do you remember the record rep, Alex Valentine?
Yeah.
He called me.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. He lives in New Braunfels. He called me the next week and he goes, dude, that was the greatest wedding ceremony I've ever been to. He goes, and I'm performing one in a month. He goes, can I use some of that material? I'm like, absolutely, dude, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, Kev's like, it's Bob Hope. It's like Bob Hope. If you're stealing from me, it's been stolen twice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm so, it's so weird how people, because more likely than not, the band Perry and even Kim Guthrie, back in the day when they were younger, they would say everything and anything. And they just get that, it happened to my sister, Terry. She lived in California too long.
Oh,
like
really?
I did a joke on her, man. I said something like, wow, Terry, I don't know about your thinking. You've been in California too long.
Didn't like that, huh?
She flipped, man.
Wow.
She flipped, man. And that, that it hasn't been the same in our relationship since then. Seriously.
Oh, wow.
Since
is there anything that somebody could say to you that would offend you?
Nothing. There's nothing. I don't, I was taught sticks and stones will break your bones. Words will never hurt you.
Right.
And I've always thought that if you show me somebody that gets offended by words, and I'll show you a weak human being.
Okay. Let me ask you this, though, and we don't have a point of reference on this, but if we were black and we were brought up during the slave era and somebody did use the N-word, which was a word that was used to put down that segment of society, I can understand the offense there. I can. Anything else, I can't.
I've always thought that the complete outrage, you just empowered that person that belittled you, tried to belittle you by it.
You've always said that, yes.
If you just laugh at it, go, what? Because I've always been from the school of nobody defines me but me.
Mm-hmm.
And my actions, my work ethic. I don't care. You can say anything you want about me. I know the truth. I know who I am. And you can't define me. That's just me. That's not, and maybe I'm wrong in that thinking. Maybe I need to dial back the insense. Because I'm just not sensitive to word. I don't care. There's no group of words put together that would offend me. Nothing. I really can't think of anything. I mean, you could say something horrendous about my mother or my kids or whatever, but they're just words. Now you raise a hand to my children and my mother, I'll fucking kill you.
But what about the argument that those words, the intent of those words?
I can't think. And maybe somebody can paint a scenario for me, where it's like, okay, Tuttle. I mean, to me, the only words you really can't say is you can't shout fire in a crowded movie theater. People will get trampled and killed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that doesn't offend me though. That's a law.
No, that's a law. You can't say stuff that will cause pandemonium, havoc, and could get people hurt, physically hurt, just from your words.
Mm-hmm.
Can you think of anything? I mean, educate me here, Kevin. Maybe I'm just a fucking dinosaur.
No, you and I agree with this. Nothing could ever be said to me that would offend me.
Nothing.
Okay.
I mean, you can blast me with honky cracker, all that.
I laugh at that, but then
funny. Again, and Eddie Murphy, remember when he did, "Hey, I'm the white guy," on Saturday Night Live, his white guy stuff, and the Wayans brothers when they did the white shit. No, I don't care.
No, it doesn't bother me.
I know who I am.
And here's the example that I was going to use to perfectly illustrate that you can't offend Tim. Okay. I was so mad when you did not tell me that you were going to Indiana for your dad's funeral. You didn't tell me. Okay. I had to find out from a coworker that you went up to your dad's funeral. I thought I should have heard that from you. Now, this is when we were really new together. And I was like, I was hurt. Okay.
Yeah. But Kev, it was like 2 a.m, 1 a.m.
I get it. I know that.
And my mind is elsewhere. My dad just died, dude.
Totally understood. And now I understand it. Yeah. Okay. But I thought, well, he doesn't like me and, he doesn't respect me and I don't mean anything to him. And so that was the chip that I was wearing. And when you came back, I did say, I'm sorry. But my comment, and you got to understand, Tim's dad was his fucking hero. He was his best friend, man. That's the picture of him right there. There's Fred. And in my comment, because I was still butthurt, was, cancer's just population control. And he did not punch me. He did not punch me.
No, because that's a bullshit thing to say.
It was.
But I and this is how I think is, I actually felt sorry for you that you had to go there and say that in order to soothe whatever shit goes on in your head.
Yeah.
I felt sorry for you. I was like, wow, man, you just scraped the bottom. You took that pool skimmer and you went straight to the bottom where the scum is there. And I felt bad for you. I was like, man, that's something that probably down the road, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, that's probably, I don't have a lot of regrets. That's definitely one of the top 3.
Yeah. When you said, I'm glad your dad died, it's population control.
I didn't say I'm glad he died. I did not say that. I said,
okay, that's how I have it in my head.
Yeah.
That's how the story goes on. Here's what Kevin did. He said, he was so mad. He said, I'm glad your dad died from cancer. And then he kicked my dad's corpse. He kicked it.
Yeah.
He said, every single year on this date that he died, I'm going to come to his grave and take a shit on it. That's what Kevin said to me.
It's not, but, and that's why I'm saying it, you can't offend us, because if that didn't offend him, I don't think anything can.
See, Kev, I know I told you this one is I called my mom the B word when I was 17.
Yeah.
And my dad, my dad's 40 years older than me, 40 and a half years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm 17 years old. You do the math. That's a 57-year-old man. He came up the stairs like he was Jesse Owens in Berlin in 1936. I'm serious. And he, for a moment, I was not his son.
Mm-hmm.
He got in position, in fight position. And he said, what did you say to my wife? And I knew I was in trouble there.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was not, his golden boy, his slugger, the one who has a lot of great conversations with him, makes him laugh and stuff like that. I was some dude who just chumped his wife.
Yeah, you offended his wife.
And he brought one up from Georgia.
Oh.
I mean, he bought one. That's the only time he ever touched me. He never, my mom was the disciplinarian.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was the belt, spoon, lamp, shoe, all that stuff. My dad never did, except that one time, because what did you call my wife? I'll never forget the look on his. He had the vein. Speaking of the vein, popping in the forehead, and I swear his eyes were red.
Wow.
And I was just like, I am so sorry, Dad. I totally deserve that, and I will just go downstairs with my tail between the legs, and I'll get an ice pack, and I'll be okay. Yeah.
Never did it again, did you?
Oh, no.
No.
There's one thing I can tell you is nobody calls Audrey Tuttle a bitch.
But let me ask you this. So he punches you, but what hurt worse, the punch or the disappointment?
Oh, man. That's all with my dad. Always the disappointment.
Yeah, man.
My dad's being disappointed in me was much more effective than my mom, like beating me with a belt. Yep. Much more effective. The worst thing to do is to have Fred Tuttle down on you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, man.
You hate that.
Ooh. I can remember sometimes my heart just beating and I'm in a sweat going, oh my God, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? Mm-hmm. And how would I get out of this? And, he would let me out, but, he'd let me think about it for a while. Yep. I'm not going to buddy up. We're not going to go throw the football. We're not going to do that. Not tonight.
Wow.
He'd let me stew in it a little bit. And, the next day I'm so dad. And he'd go, come here, slugger.
But you know what? That is a testament to the relationship, though. The mutual respect that you guys had for each other and the love that you had for each other. That if the disappointment didn't resonate with you,
it was a one-way respect, though. Very important you understand that. Like he didn't respect me, like man to man. Even when I was getting old, I think that Kev, you remember the TV show Dexter?
Yeah, I love it.
Dexter's dad, kind of guided Dexter through life.
Mm-hmm.
He needed some help. He has these feelings, these serial killing feelings and everything like that. And Dexter's dad was there to go, I'm this awkward, shy, they didn't have a name for it back then. They didn't call it level 1 autism, but I was strange and weird. And he's just guiding me through it. He's like guiding me through it. And to be quite honest, when I lost him when I was 28 years old, I lost my rudder.
Yeah. I can see that.
I lost. I think back to so many times that if my dad was still around, things would have been completely different. Like he would have talked to Erica, and he's a very, very persuasive guy, very intelligent guy.
He was an attorney.
Yeah, he was an attorney, and he would have, because I sometimes, struggled with, being able to formulate things correctly in terms of relationships,
Okay. Yeah.
Because I don't fully understand the nuances and everything like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah.
I'm just weird. I'm awkward and goofy and it's all inside and I get stuck in my head and something, and then I'm stuck in my head and then the wheel is spinning and I know I should be talking. I'm not ignoring you, but I got this shit going on. You know what I'm saying?
I'm following you, bro. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was good therapy.
That was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah. Do we have time? There's one thing I want to do before we go. Do we have time?
Yeah. Well, did we get a new girl update? If you're not going to give us a new girl update, at least give us a Cooper update. Tell us that story.
Okay.
Because when I found out about this, I immediately liked New Girl.
Well, the girl I'm talking to, very, very, very sweet, beautiful woman, very smart, and everything like that. She's very interesting and very funny too.
Okay.
And she, her daughter actually found a German Shepherd in the Spring Cypress Kirkendall zone there in a neighborhood. bought it home to her. She lives in that northern region, Montgomery County. And she is one of the nicest people, loves animals.
I can tell.
She brought the German Shepherd in, was taking care of the German Shepherd, trying to find its home and everything like that. And one of the things I loved, made me laugh, is, she's trying to like familiarize herself with it and bond with the dog, and she doesn't know the name. There's no tags. So she remember the movie Ted?
Yes.
Where, Mark Wahlberg. I'm sorry, you younger kids. To me, he'll always be Marky Mark.
Right.
And the Funky Bunch. Good vibrations. Anyway, he's like naming the female names of Ted's girl that, cashier that he's interested in.
Yeah. All right, Brandy, Heather, Channing, Brianna, Amber, Sabrina, Melody, Dakota, Sierra, Bambi, Crystal, Samantha, Autumn, Ruby, Taylor, Tara, Tammy, Lauren, Charlene, Chantel, Courtney, Misty, Jenny, Krista, Mindy, Noelle, Shelby, Trina, Reba, Cassandra, Nikki, Kelsey, Shauna, Jolene, Erling, Claudine, Savannah, Casey, Dolly, Kendra, Kylie, Chloe, Devin, Emma, Luke, Becky.
Nope. That's what she was doing to the dog. She's going, come here, Fido. Okay, he didn't answer to that. Okay, Ruff, come here, Ruff. Oh, okay, Dave. And just rattling off a bunch of names to see if the dog
react.
I thought that was hilarious of her.
That is.
And that dog, by the way, some older gentleman a few days ago came by and adopted.
Oh, awesome.
Not so fast.
Oh. Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. It just reminds me of a movie scene, and you're gonna know what I'm talking about. He brings the dog home. Let me know if I see, because I don't know if I'm inappropriate here or not.
Okay.
He brings the dog home. He puts the dog in his backyard right away. Make sure it goes back. The dog jumped right over the fence. Gone. Gone.
Oh no.
So he had to text her, and she was so bummed out. He had to text her saying, he's gone. So yeah, that's the update on Cooper.
Oh no. That dog just does not like to be caged.
That dog's a survivor though, man.
Yeah.
I was with her one day, and we took him for a walk in the park. And let me say this, it took everything I got. I mean, I don't, you may not believe this, Kev, but I can bench press a shit ton.
Yes, I can tell.
Especially for my age. That dog was giving me all I got. And I was just thinking to myself, because she's 5'8", maybe $110.
Okay.
And I was like, there's no way you can hold this dog. There's no way you can hold this dog.
Yeah, you can tell he was powerful.
In the wide open. He's just so him being out there, and more likely than not, because he's a German Shepherd, that's a high value dog. He's probably had a home within a half hour.
Yeah.
You
hope.
But if he's not, he's fine. I mean, there's probably a trail of woodland animals and creatures that are dead, and that's probably the best way you can find them.
He was beautiful.
Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah.
He was cool. But she's interesting. I mean, something that makes me laugh. She got a speeding ticket.
Oh.
And had to take defensive driving.
Uh-huh.
And she was taking the defensive driving course while driving.
No.
I was like, what? Yeah, she's a busy woman.
A busy woman, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she talks about, she does a lot of hikes and stuff like that.
Cool.
And she takes them alone, like places like, Costa Rica and the jungle in Belize. And I'm like, you're all alone. I mean, you have some kind of like bear spray or some kind of defense. She's like, oh, no, I'm the kind of person that would try to pet the bear. I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea.
Not at all.
Not at all. I'm like, listen, I'll go hiking with you. We may do one of these one day if we end up being a thing. But I'm gonna be armed to the teeth. Because the pictures that you're showing me right now out in the jungle, it looks innocent enough, but trust me, around the edges, I can see eyes.
Uh-huh.
I can see eyes, and yeah, I'm not gonna. The last thing I want to do is to be shit out by a python.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
I don't want that to happen. So there you go. Kevin Kline, it has been fun.
Yeah.
We hardly got to anything we were supposed to talk to, but that's okay.
No.
Please, y'all, do us a favor. Like, follow, download, subscribe, give us a rating. We need all that stuff to continue to grow and to continue to attract and please sponsors. We would love for you to do that. And also tell some friends about us. I mean, we had at Apex 2015, end of 2015, early 2016, we had 1.5 million people listening to Second Date Update every single week.
It's a lot of people.
If we could get 1% of that to download this podcast on a weekly basis, Kevin Kline will be able to afford the medication and the running shoes.
Yeah, exactly. The comments that you have been getting and what you've been posting for the Instagram stuff with the comments, that's brilliant, man. That's so cool. And thank you so much for sharing those comments with us. You know, it's we know you're out there, but it's always nice to get feedback.
Yeah, and I love it.
Good, bad, or ugly.
Whatever you have, please comment. I mean, I love some of these comments that people are giving us. It actually gives us direction too.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And I love that. And don't forget our merchandise. Our merch is available. Go to the Tuttle and Kline Facebook page. Just all you have for everything, for every single platform out there, social media and podcast, Tuttle and Kline. If you type that in, you're going to find our stuff. And we'd love for you to buy some merchandise, how-to instructions on our Facebook page. And Kev, what do you have coming up?
For the Fuzzy Mike, I'm going to share a couple of listener emails. And we're going to work through a couple of problems like that. I'll keep you up to date on the Brandy Roderick quest. But she says she's going to come on.
Oh, that's awesome.
We'll see.
I pick up Dallas and Timmy early again this week. I'll get them on Thursday because their mom and stepdad are going out of town.
Okay.
So that's going to be some great fodder. And I can already see, Timmy asking those hard-hitting Easter questions like, so, Dad, what's the bunny thing with Jesus being rising from the dead? How's the bunny? So I'm getting ready for those.
Yeah, we've had on the battle plan that Timmy's got two Timmy stories that we haven't ever gotten to.
Yeah, we don't have time. We'll cover them next time, hopefully.
Okay.
So, Timmy's a well. I mean, I can do a 15. I can do 15 minutes of stand up just on Timmyisms.
Well, keep them coming then. Keep them coming. Right. Are you going up this week? On stage? I'm going to try. Okay.
I'm going to try. I really want to hone it. I really like this tight five, but I'm also going to see if I can go bigger venue somehow.
Well, there's plenty. There's places in Houston you could do that. The Improv. You could check out the Secret Group. Do you know where that is?
That's where I was last night.
Were you really?
Yeah. I would like for the Secret Group to just hire me where I don't have to do the open mics. That's what I'd like.
Yeah. Okay. We'll keep working on it.
I am. But I want to. You got to hone it. You got to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah, you do.
Just to make sure I have an audience and I'm not driving, 35 minutes and paying for parking and then go in there and, some shit comics have whittled it down to 3 people. I may have figure out another way to do it. We'll see.
All right. Well,
all right. I got to bail, man.
Later, brother.
See ya.
That's it for this episode of the Tuttle and Kline Show. See you this Wednesday for an all-new episode. Also, you can catch Tuttle on TV. He is a handsome man. And you can get more Kline on his podcast, The Fuzzy Mike, with new episodes on Tuesday. Stay fuzzy, friends. And thanks for listening to the Tuttle and Kline Show. Yo. All right, take the yo out.